Orange Crush. When you were on staff in Minneapolis, where did you live and with how many people? Were others in the same room? Who paid for meals or cooked? Did you have TV or a vehicle? Could you easily have blown at any time provided you had enough money? Okay, this is an interesting question. I wasn't actually on staff in Minneapolis, by the way. I was a Sea Org member who was on mission in Minneapolis. So I was out there for many, many different missions and projects over a period of years, but I was never staff there. I was Sea Org from Los Angeles. So just might seem like a tiny point, but it's an important one in the world of Scientology. We lived in hotels, is where we lived. We would get long-term hotel accommodations and like extended stay places with kitchens and stuff like that. And I would do shopping. I remember I set up a Christmas thing one time and figured out Thanksgiving or something, I think, when that happened. We would do a certain amount of grocery shopping, but mostly we were eating out. And that money, of course, would come from Los Angeles, right? Or from international, depending on which project or mission I was on. But usually that's where we would get put up. And we did not have TVs. Or no, there was a TV in the final mission I was on. Yeah, actually, no, all the missions and projects I was on, because we were staying at hotels. There were TVs all the time. Yeah, absolutely. And on certain projects where I was with fellow staff from my level, we would absolutely watch TV like all the time, right? But not only when we were in the apartment, which was only at night, when we were secure, right? Because we were at the org. We would get there about 8:30 in the morning, and we wouldn't leave there until 11:30 or midnight. So it wasn't like we were, lounging around watching TV for a real long time or seeing movies or something, right? Never did pay-per-view, anything like that. We would rent a car because we had to get around. And that was, again, all missions and projects, and especially the one where I was out driving around, going door to door to recover people. That was, I obviously needed a car for that. So could I have blown at any time? Yes, physically. Nobody was keeping me in a prison. I could have driven off, or I could have done any number of things, had the thought ever occurred to me to do so, which it never did. And had it, I still wouldn't have acted on it because I was married. All of my friends, everybody I knew outside of my parents, were in the Sea Org. So the idea of just, I was in a position at this point by Minneapolis of, driving all over the United States, seeing all kinds of people, seeing all kinds of country. I mean, just places I'd never even imagined, and seeing how big the country was. So I had plenty of opportunity to just disappear. Plenty of opportunity. But it never even dawned on me to do that because all my connections and responsibilities and what I honestly considered my duty. I didn't take that lightly when I was a Sea Org member. Sometimes I took some of the job functions a bit lightly because I thought, especially as the years went on, I saw more and more of the ridiculousness of it. But my duty to the Sea Org and to mankind was never in question, ever. So that's what, so I was very dedicated. So I'm just putting all that out there so you get the idea, because I can't tell from how you asked the question whether this is some kind of a setup question or whether it's just something you're kind of curious about, or what, could you easily have blown? Like, yes, I could have easily blown. Physically speaking, that could have been that way, but there was never a risk of that happening.